Okay, in this section, we're going to be going over rational expressions. We're going to be kind of simplifying them. But before we do that, we want to evaluate the following. So we're going to kind of go over just what exponents are real quick before we get to what a rational number is. And we need to really identify a rational number before we talk about a rational expression. All right, so let's get started here. Let's make sure I've got the right brush going. If I had 3 to the third, now you should probably already know this, but we're going to cover it real quick. 3 to the third times 3 to the fourth raised, 3 raised to the fourth power. We want to combine both those. So what you do is you go 3, you add their exponents. Okay, so this is just a refresher on how to deal with exponents. You add their exponents, and this becomes 3 raised to the 7th power. All right, I'll let you figure out what that is. Okay. Let's say I had 2 squared, and that whole thing is raised to the 3rd power. Now really what this is saying is this is 2 squared times 2 squared times 2 squared. You see that 3 times. Okay, and what would you do with the exponents? You would just add them. 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? Which is 6. But in short, instead of doing that, you multiply these two numbers together. So that would be 3 times 2, which becomes 2 to the 6th power, which is, what is 2 to the 6th? 64, something like that. We're not really too concerned about that. How about 4 raised to the negative 1, and the whole thing is squared. So what do? We multiply these two numbers together, so this becomes 4, right, raised to the negative 1 times 2, which actually reduces down to 4 to the negative 2. But in most cases, excuse me, we don't leave our answer with negative exponents. So we want to rewrite this, and this actually becomes 1 over 4 squared. Okay, this negative exponent, we take it down to the denominator and write it with a positive exponent, which then can be rewritten as 1 over 16. 4 times 4 is 16. All right. What if we had 5 to the 0, and it was all raised to the 3rd power? What do we do here? This is 5, 0 times 3. But 0 times 3 is 0, so you have 5 to the 0. Well, 5 to the 0 is 1. It's equal to 1. And we'll talk about the reason why later on in the story. Let's get a new screen here. Oh, I just remembered something. Oh well. Got time for it. This is listed as applications, but it should be rational expressions. All right, let's look at another one here. We got negative 2 raised to the negative 2. Okay, so let's rewrite this with positive exponents. Well, actually, so there's a 1 right here, so we can rewrite this. Now, we got to be careful about this one, because this is in parentheses right here. Okay, this is in parentheses. So this becomes negative 2, but it's still in parentheses. That's what's got to be careful about this. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. It looks like we just rewrote the problem, but really we didn't. But anyway, we're going to rewrite this, and this is rewritten as 1 over negative 2 squared. 1 over negative 2 squared. Okay, which becomes 1 over, so negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. All right, got to watch out for these negative signs. What if I had 2/3 raised to the 2nd power? Well, this can be broken up as 2 raised to the second power over 3 raised to the second power, and that just becomes 4 over 9. 4 over 9. Okay, we're moving right along now. What about 2 over 3 raised to the negative 2? Okay, well, we can do this. 2 raised to the negative 2 over 3 raised to the negative 2. And then what do? We switch everything around. This becomes 3 squared over 2 squared. Right? This would go to the bottom, and this goes to the top. And that is supposed to be a square. So that would be 9 over 4. Okay, 9 over 4. Let's look at another one. Let's see. What about if we had 1/2 raised to the negative 1? So this becomes 1 to the negative 1 over 2 to the negative 1. But we just switch places. So this is 2 to the first over 1 to the first, which is actually just all equal to 2 there. Okay, let's see. Let's get another new template here. What about we have 6 over 7 to the negative 1. So this gets rewritten as 6 times. I want to take this to the top. 7 raised to the 1. But 7 raised to the 1 is just 7. So what is that, 42? I guess you could say. Okay. Let's see. We got negative 3 over 4. It's all raised to the negative 2. So we have negative 3. Make sure you put this in parentheses now. To the negative 2 over 4 to the negative 2. Okay. So this gets rewritten. We take that to the top, that to the bottom, and that becomes 4 squared over negative 3 squared, which is 16 over negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Right? And that can actually be, let's see, 8, 3, I guess not. Okay, let's look at another one here. What about this one? 1/3. It's all raised to the 0 power. Well, any number raised to the 0 power is going to be 1, but you could break it up if you wanted to. We could do that. 1 raised to the 0 is 1. 3 raised to the 0 is 1. And the whole thing is 1. Okay? All right, I think that's enough. We've covered enough on this. We're going to actually get into some rational expressions. I just wanted to cover powers and negative exponents. And the next one we go, so we're going to kind of do a leap here. All right, I'll see you in the next video.